Hey, and welcome back to the iLife Academy coaching podcast, where we talk about how to become the optimum version of yourself, how to create the success in your life that you want, to create peace, tranquility, to create love, and anything you want to feel. Okay, so what are we talking about today? We are talking about the connection between loving and accepting who you are and success. You see, this is a huge problem so many successful people have. And you might be thinking, what? Like, how can successful people have this problem of loving themselves? How can that be? How is it that successful people could even possibly have the same problem that I have? Now, you may not have that problem, but often what you find and what you might be wondering is that, does it even make sense that a person who has success, someone who's achieved what they want, doesn't that mean that they don't have any challenges in confidence and self-esteem and this sort of stuff? I tell you, from my experience in the coaching and counseling world, from my experience over the last 25 years in working with business people, with consultancies, through leadership training, when you're dealing with the people who quote unquote are successful in their careers, in their businesses, like, you imagine that they don't have this problem. But in fact, I've seen this so many times. I've seen this over and over again, especially in the coaching and therapy world. You find that, you get to see what's truly beyond the surface. And so often we suffer from this. And I'll tell you, we'll talk about exactly why and what you can do about it. However, it's really important to understand that although you may be looking at other people thinking that they're successful and, they look like they're having a great time, life is amazing for them, you can never truly know what's beyond the surface unless they let you in. So what often seems from the outside like an amazing life doesn't seem so amazing to the person actually living it. You see, we all look at others thinking they have it all. They have what I need. That's the first problem, you see. We see those others, those people, have a better life or a better body or better relationships, a better career, a better business. The grass always seems to be better on the other side, the side I'm not in. That's the problem, you see. So we stay busy always trying to get to the other side. We look at other couples and how happy they look, and we're wondering, why are we not happy in our marriage? We look at other parents with their kids and they seem to be doing a great job. And we're thinking, why can't I get it right with my kids? We look at our friends who have gone on to create success in their careers and their businesses, and they're driving around in nice cars, and we're wondering, why haven't I got the same success? I'm just as intelligent. Why haven't I managed to do the same? And the funny thing is, you wouldn't believe it, but there are other people. Well, actually, maybe you do believe it. Maybe you're told all the time. Maybe people always congratulate you on your success, but you don't feel it inside. Right? They look at you and they're thinking, what a great life, but you don't feel it. They could tell you all of the things about your life that they seem to love, but you don't seem to feel it. You see, we have this thing about, when I get over there where the grass is greener, I have the clients I want, or I have the business deals I need, I have the financial freedom or the car or the home, that family, family dynamics, the amazing family life, that job, the mindset. When I can get rid of these horrible feelings and thoughts, when I get that comfort and the confidence, we think that when we get to the other side, the success side, where success lies, that we will feel so much better. I'll be able to be happy with myself. I'll have a reason then. I'll have a reason then to love myself and love who I am. And so we delay acceptance. We delay that love. We delay that embracing of life until we get to the other side. And then we say to ourselves, I mean, we don't actually say it to ourselves, but it's going on there in the background. For now, I'll just give myself conditional love. This is such a huge problem for so many people at all levels of the ladder. We say, I'll make it in my business. I'll make it my business to improve myself. I'll make it my business to improve myself. I'm going to be in a constant state of self-improvement to become like him or her, or when I become like her, when I can do what she does, then I would have arrived. Do you feel like you need to arrive before you can accept yourself? I mean, ask yourself this question. Have you ever put yourself in that situation? What happens when you try to live life like the people on the other side of the fence are living, and then you don't achieve it? What happens? It's almost like I'm slowing this down to have you think about this, because it's so important. It's no point in me talking to you. Like, it's really important that you think about, what happens in that stage. When we're able to slow down and break down exactly what's going on in our minds, then we're able to see what we're actually doing up there in that mind. You see, when we set ourselves these situations, like we've got to be, I'll be happy when I get to that. Life will be so much better, and I'd have everything I need to be happy. I'd have everything I need to feel great. But what happens is that we're trying to be like someone we're not, or something, we're trying to be where we're not. Like, the grass seems greener on the other side, but you and we're not on the other side. So if you set yourself this goal of, I'm going to get to the other side and I'll be happy then, I'll feel great then what happens if it doesn't happen that way? Because we measure ourselves against other people, against other circumstances, against, financial circumstances. When I have that house, or but then you get the house, and all of a sudden, like, there's a bigger house, there's a nicer house. You see, over there is never real. Like, I'll be happy when I get this or that. Like, it doesn't happen. Because in the moment, we struggle and we do not accept ourselves and how great life is right now. And that's a real problem. I mean, did it feel like, when I asked you these questions, when you struggle in life with anything, you might be successful in whatever you're successful in, but you struggle just like all of us. We all struggle, right? It's a part of life. We have things that are more difficult, and we have different things that we struggle with at different times in our lives. Now, when you think about those things, like, how does it make you feel? Like, when you can't achieve what you want to achieve, or you can't be like someone else, or have something like someone else has, or be where they are, when that happens, how does that make you feel? Does it feel like your confidence is in the dirt? Like, you can't seem to lift yourself out of this? Like, why is this happening? And even as I say this, I feel this horrible feeling deep down, just when I think about those words. Like, my confidence is in the dirt. Like, it's in the toilet. I can't seem to pull myself out of this situation, this feeling that I don't enjoy. And it's like this deep-seated feeling in my chest. Even as I say it, it's like a heavy feeling where you feel like it's coming up your throat. And it's such a horrible feeling. It's the feeling that you're not enough. That's what it does to you. So for now, I just want you to stop. I want you to stop right now and stop thinking about what we've just spoken about. Stop thinking, stop feeling. And just for a second, like, take a deep breath. Hold it. And just listen to the silence. And slowly breathe out. And keep doing that. Keep taking these deep breaths. Inhale. And hold it for 10 seconds. And then slowly let it out. Slowly breathe out. And keep listening to that silence. Don't try to understand it. Just listen to the silence. And keep breathing. That's the amazing ability that you have to enrich your body with oxygen that makes you feel great. It's the opposite of what you do when you start getting deep down in the dirt. Keep breathing. Keep taking deep breaths. Like, if you're not doing this, you're not going to know what I'm talking about. No one's watching you. No one's listening to you. No one can see you right now. And even if they can see you, they can't know how you're breathing. That's the most amazing thing. Only the most compassionate, the most merciful, Al-Wadud, Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, knows what's going on with you. So just keep breathing. That's annoying, isn't it? So in that moment, just enjoy the silence. You see, you're always enough. The most compassionate. And the reason I say you're always enough is because the most compassionate, the most merciful, the most loving, Al-Wadud, the creator of the heavens and the earth, is the one that made you exactly the way you are. Never deficient, never without. Keep breathing and keep listening to that beautiful silence. If you need, press pause on this. Because when we listen to that silence, we quieten the mind. You drop out of your thinking that's creating those horrible feelings. You know, when I talk to you about the confidence in the dirt and not feeling like you're enough, like, these are just words and thoughts. And if you felt horrible, it's because you focused in on those words and thoughts like they're real. You see, we get caught up in the moment, trying to be like those who are living on the other side of the fence, where the grass is greener. And it looks greener from here. But when you go over there, it looks exactly the same as where you are. We try to be this perfect version of a human being, forgetting that we are a perfect version of an imperfect human being. You see, it's those imperfections that make you so unique. It's those imperfections that make you so interesting. Why others would want to know who you are because you're so different. It's not something to be ashamed of. It's something to embrace. It's the imperfections of who we are. Trying to be perfect is like trying to throw a pebble into a lake without causing a ripple, without disturbing the stillness of the lake. That's the beauty of the lake, the ripples. It's what makes it different from the sea. You see, if you could love yourself for who you are, you could become truly grateful and connected to the most compassionate, the most merciful, the Almighty. You see, trying to be someone you're not or somewhere you're not isn't actually the challenge you're facing. The challenge isn't in having great aspirations. We should have great aspirations to be who we want to be. We should have great aspirations to be where we want to be. And that's not the challenge. The challenge is in struggling to accept and embrace who you are now. Loving what is now. Loving your life now. Who you are now is the most important thing. And enjoying the moment you're in right now is the most important thing. Over there is not real. It's never real until you get there. It's the most exhilarating feeling to be in love with life exactly as it is. You see, it energizes you. It makes you so grateful. It gives you those feelings that you want. It makes you a contributor to society, to be able to offer goodness to the world. The minute you become immersed in the idea that your life isn't enough, you will suffer. The suffering doesn't come from you not being enough. It doesn't even come from you not being lovable or you not having enough success. It doesn't come from you not being a successful person or as successful as someone else. Your suffering does not come from, not having a good enough job, not having the right car, not having the right home or big enough home, not having financial freedom or time freedom. It doesn't come from any of that. It comes from the struggle with who you are and not accepting life, not accepting what we call divine decree, destiny. Like destiny is as we shape it, but it's already been decreed because the one who created you is always looking after you. The most compassionate, the most merciful is always taking care of you. You are that person. You're never alone. You don't have to depend on yourself. So imagine that. If you struggle to accept life as you are, the person you are, as life is, how could you possibly love who you are? The struggle isn't with trying to get to the other side of the fence. The struggle is with accepting life and then building upon it. Because I'm not saying that we should not build and aspire to build something greater. But you can't build something greater on something that you're not happy with in the first place. It's like having a rocky foundation. But if you can be truly happy with where you are, then you can build something amazing. You can just let go of all of this. Like go back to the breathing. Because when you fall into this state of mind where you start berating yourself, you give yourself hassle. Like fall into the silence. Listen to the silence. Do that deep breathing exercise. You don't need music to soothe your heart. You don't need motivational speeches to do that for you. You don't need to be uplifted with motivational speeches. You don't need anything outside of you and who you are. The minute you drop out of the challenge of challenging yourself to be someone else, somewhere else, the minute you accept and embrace who you are right now, you will find so many reasons to be in love with life and who you are. It's the most amazing thing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, وَمَا أَصَابَكُم مِّن مُّصِيبَةٍ فَبِمَا كَسَبَتْ أَيْدِيكُم. And whatever afflicts you from an affliction is from what your hands have earned. You see, this is such an amazing verse because it's telling us that there is a cause and an effect. There's a cause and an effect. Like, whatever happens, it is connected to what we do. And that's great news. Because the opposite of this can also be true in that you will not obtain something in your life except that you have to do something about it. You have to do something to create it. What you do to create that self-acceptance, that self-love, the self-respect even, is something which is created within you. Your belief about yourself is created in your mind. It's a thought. And your actions will only ever match up with your beliefs. See, if you believe your life's not good enough, it'll never be good enough. And the minute you decide intentionally to believe in yourself, to accept who you are, what you have and where you are, your life will change forever. It may not change from the outside, but from the inside, that acceptance and that love and respect, it will start to emerge. It's very much intentional. It's not something that happens to you. You see, we afflict ourselves. We try ourselves. And at the same time, we can do the opposite. We can obtain what we want. We just have to become intentional about it. And if you feel like you're in a dark place in your mind at any time, look, everyone has it. The most successful people have it. Those who you consider successful, they have it. Success is relative, by the way. So if you find yourself in a dark place, you can be absolutely intentional about letting that go, because it's created, that dark place is in the mind. And the minute you stop, drop out of that thinking, drop into the silence, listen to the silence, breathe, do the whole deep breathing technique, because it really helps. And if you do that, you're going to find that you can change everything. You can instantly change your state. It's a technique, but it works because it's human. It's very human. It's like, you can't flourish. You can't do well without breathing, right? So it's not really a technique. It's just about how you are. It's how you're built. And you can have the most amazing situation in life. All you have to do is you got to accept it. That's the first step. Life is not, it's not greener on the other side. When you get there, you'll see it's the same. It's the same as whatever you have now. So make what you have now amazing. It's a choice. So I'm going to leave you with that. If you are enjoying these podcasts, leave a message, leave a comment, and sign up to the email list where I'm going to be sending out more of this on a regular basis, where I'm coaching you on different aspects of life. Look, these are at the moment we're talking about stuff that is absolutely foundational. And if you like this and want more of this, go to QuranicConnection.tv, sign up for more of it. There's lots of free content there. If you're actually interested in training as a coach and learning the skills of coaching, like therapeutic coaching, where you deal with challenges for yourself. You're able to resolve your own problems as well as help others in your business, in your work. Go check out quranicconnection.tv/certification, and you'll see lots of stuff there. We'll take it from there. Jazakumullah khair. See you in the next call.